Hello, happy Tuesday. I am Bethany Johnson. Sorry, Bethany and David, it still has. Let me rename that. So I'm Bethany Johnson, and this is your Tuesday afternoon calming Zooms, specifically recorded and created for Woodburn School District. I hope that this finds you um, in need of some calming, maybe some techniques to help really focus your breath and your calming. The intent of these Zooms are really focused on your well-being as employees of Woodburn School District, as people who pour your hearts and your life out for the students and supporting families. And this particular offering of Calming Zooms is really here designed to offer you further health through relaxation, calming techniques. So in whatever way that you're accessing these, quite a while in the future from now, accessing the recording library, or even in the next little bit, I welcome you. I hope that this will serve you. I hope that you will find this gift of time one that is really beneficial to yourself and really moves you towards a place of greater health as you are pouring your heart out in really amazing ways. This Zoom, like I said, is made possible through a wellness grant. So again, the focus here is on emotional and mental health, focusing on giving you some really practical tools to help manage what can be very stressful situations, either within the role of your job serving in the school district, or perhaps some other additional area. We know that stressors can come from lots of different areas, different spaces, and how our body responds to them can have a really big impact on how we go about our jobs and our lives and our times with our family or loved ones. So practically speaking, I offer these Zooms live these times. So from about 4 to 5 p.m. Almost every other Tuesday afternoon. So you'll see the remaining dates there. We have a couple more, one more date in March, and then 2 in April, and then 2 in May. Those are those live times. I usually publish the video about 2 or 3 hours after that occurs. Those are posted in the playlist where I assume you were accessing these. So you are more than welcome to, they're not sequential. You don't, well, except for these last two, you can really access them in whatever way works best. If you're looking for specific content, you should be able to find those in the description and in the titles, and then by all means scrub to the spot that you want. Take a little bit here and there to infuse or to learn some breathing or calming techniques. So a little bit about me. Okay, so I am Bethany Johnson, and I am a certified health coach, which means I just care really, really deeply about people feeling their very best, physically, emotionally, financially, all of those pieces that work together to make you feel your healthiest. And so I was delighted to be a part of this. I am in no way professional in terms of, I don't teach yoga. I'm not a breathing specialist. I am someone who cares deeply about individual and their health. And I have seen practices of calming and yoga and breathing really have a very positive impact in my own life. And so wanted to share that with you, but please know that I am learning this as we go, and was just eager to share again, something that I've experienced and have found to be really helpful tools throughout my life and my journey as a healthier person. And so my journey was really through finding some physical health about 9 years ago. For me, that included losing about 70 pounds. And that was really discovering what it looks like for me to be my healthiest self. What does it look like for me to discover ways to manage stress, to find peace and simplicity and confidence. For me, my preferred celebration of what my body can do is yoga as well as distance running. And then I also really lean into water sports in the summer. I'm on a dragon boat team and things like that. So that's who I am. Thank you for joining me for this time. Let's talk a little bit about meditation, although our focus today is really going to be especially on some specific breathing techniques. So we're not going to do specifically meditation. We'll do some guided meditation actually next week. But this week is really going to be focusing on paying attention to 4 breathing strategies that are especially helpful for anxiety. Last week, we tackled 4, and I'm going to do the remaining 4 from a particular article that I'll have linked in the comments. And so just a word as you're giving yourself the gift of the time and focus for this Zoom session, really giving yourself space to be as comfortable as you possibly can. So I'm not sure where you are when you're accessing this recording, whether you're on a walk or you're in your classroom at a break or you're at home or you're listening in your car. My encouragement to you is just find a way for you to be as physically comfortable as is possible so that you can really focus your space. Part of why breathing and yoga is so interconnected is because that practice of focusing and drawing our attention to what's happening with our body. That does not have to necessarily happen on a yoga mat or laying down in a dark room, but as much as possible, finding a way to give some space for some comfort, releasing some tension. We hold a lot of stress in our bodies, and giving yourself some acknowledgement and noticing there can be really powerful. I want to really encourage you wherever you are, setting up your space to make the most out of this time that you're giving yourself is really helpful. Again, depending on where you are, if you can turn away from distractions or mess or to-do lists, so that you can really intentionally focus, and again, giving yourself this gift of calming time and energizing breathing. That is something that you will see a return on pretty rapidly. I really encourage you do everything that you can in terms of your space of eliminating any potential distractions, whether that's putting your phone on do not disturb. If you have a watch that's going to be notifying you, turning that on do not disturb or removing it entirely. Finding a way to really focus. One other thing that I encourage is to protect your time. I encourage you to keep a pen and a notebook nearby so that if something comes up that needs your attention or something you forgot that you needed to do, you can just jot that down under the category of for later so that you don't have to spend any mental energy trying to remember it, but it will be there when you're finished with this time. So that's something that really helps us protect our time here. Okay, I'm not going to talk about meditation. We talked about comfortable body positions, really focusing, if possible, to be in a quiet space, sort of reducing that extra stimuli can be really helpful. Okay, before we jump into our 4 breathing strategies specifically focused for anxiety, I'd like to invite you to just take a little self-preparation or a little reflection time. How are you currently feeling? What emotions or what experiences are you currently having? And what do you notice about that? Often we carry our emotions as energy in different areas of our body, our jaw, our shoulders, our stomach, our tension in the back, maybe clenched fists, sort of depending on the emotion you're experiencing. It's likely occurring somewhere in your body, and just noticing that. This is not a time to open yourself up to judgment. This is simply noticing, how am I feeling in this moment? What am I bringing to this time and to this experience? Perhaps that's something that you experienced today or this week. It might be something that has triggered or brought up something from the past or previous times, that is just in your awareness, and that can happen for so many of us in so many different ways. For some it could be a smell or a time of day or time of year, that sort of brings up things from previous experiences. And what are you noticing about that? And just being kind to yourself and saying, that's okay that I'm feeling that. That is a human response to feel emotions. And just taking a deep breath to breathe and notice what you might be feeling or experiencing in this moment, and just notice it. Right now, in this moment, I am feeling overwhelmed, or I am feeling frustrated. Maybe there's something that your mind is wandering on and you're feeling worried or concerned or heartbroken. Maybe you're anxious or anticipating something new that's coming up, some unknown part of your future. Maybe you're bothered by something from your past. Simply noticing that, giving yourself permission to feel it and experience it, knowing that you are human and normal to feel the emotions that you're experiencing. So that's just our first step, is noticing that. See what you can do to describe that mood as you get ready. Okay, so we're gonna get going through our strategies. Today, we're gonna focus on 4 breathing strategies that are specifically designed to help respond to anxiety happening in your body. As I mentioned, this comes from an article from healthline.com. I'll put a link to the full article if you're interested in further learning. But it's an article that has 8 different breathing techniques that are specifically for when you're feeling anxious. And these, my intention is not that you would go through all 8 of them every time you are feeling anxious. It is much more that I want to give you some little things to keep in your pocket when anxiety bubbles up, or when you are feeling particularly bothered or anxious or worried. And you each know if anxiety is something that comes up for you, or that you battle, or that you're currently managing. And you know how that feels, or you're starting to learn how that shows up and feels in your body. But I want to just invite you, these are some of the responses to just help bring your body to a place where it can respond to whatever that trigger of anxiety might be, and giving yourself space to really settle and calm yourself down. We would call it bringing your frontal lobe back online, reactivating that logical part of your brain. Because when our bodies are in an intense response to stress or anxiety, so much of our body, our physicality goes to making sure that we are safe. And what breathing and these breathing practices allow us to do is really calm that, communicate to our body and to ourselves that we are safe and that we can manage what is in front of us. So this fifth, but the first one today, breathing strategy, is really best done lying down. If that's not possible, that is absolutely okay. Whatever is safe and doable for you at this time. If you're somewhere where you can sit, if you're somewhere where you can lay down, great, but really paying attention to what is happening in your body and just noticing it. Again, this is not a space of judgment or criticism. This is just paying attention, giving our body some focus and some awareness. So this technique is called resonant breathing, also called coherent breathing, and that's going to really help calm your anxiety and get into a relaxed state. So here are the steps. I'll talk through them and then I'll guide you through them for several minutes. We're going to go through all four of these practices, the remaining four practices for breathing today. There are 8 total. We did 4 last week. So okay, so for this resonant or coherent breathing, ideally you're laying down if that's something that you can do comfortably, and if possible, closing your eyes, or at least relaxing your gaze or your focus. And so once you're in that state, you're going to just gently breathe in through your nose with your mouth closed for a count of 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through that. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not going to fill our lung too much with air. And then we're going to exhale for 6 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This breathing practice is very gentle. We're not overfilling our lungs and we're not forcing out our breath. This is a very gentle breathing in for 6 seconds, breathing out for 6 seconds. So I'm going to decide, or I'm going to guide us through a few moments, a few minutes of this breathing practice. I'm going to be counting it through quickly before we get started. Sometimes in guided breathing, there can be a feeling of sort of claustrophobia, or it can make people feel nervous, that they might not be in control. Our breath is one of our deepest, most primal and primitive experiences, but learning how to notice and pay attention to how your body is feeling and getting in some practice of really breathing, particularly if you're feeling very anxious, can be really good gift for yourself. So what we're going to do is, again, I invite you to blink your eyes closed and allow me to guide you through a few minutes of this coherent or resonant breathing. So we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Okay. Take a few moments to just notice. What did it do to your heart rate? What did it do to your body to focus that time and attention? How is your body physically feeling, particularly if you were able to give yourself the gift of stillness, which is a rare and beautiful gift to give our bodies. I hope that is very helpful to you. So a simple 6 in, 6 out breathing practice, certainly something that can be done throughout your day, perhaps at the end of the day or at the beginning, in the morning, whatever are the spaces and the time when you find yourself the most anxious. Taking a few moments, ideally working your way up to 8 or 10 minutes of focused breathing, especially if your goal or your intent is further calming and a struggle of anxiety is something that you would like to get a handle on or be better at. A practice like a resonant breathing can be really, really powerful one. Okay, these next 3 practices are really familiar breathing if you've ever done yoga before. Really focusing on breathing and the intent and the focus on multiple breathing variances. This would include some of what we did last week, where we extended our exhale and our inhale. These next 2 practices are really, I certainly learned them as I was doing yoga, and they might be something that's really familiar to you. If yoga is not anything that you've ever done before, or something that maybe you're less comfortable or familiar with, I want to really encourage you, particularly when it comes to yoga. For some people, there is the great benefit of the physical benefits of yoga, the stretching, the breathing, the heart, the flexibility, the mobility. And for others, there is a spiritual or religious aspect, and you really get to choose whether you're going to include both or just one of those pieces. As you're moving into trying to introduce some of these pieces. So maybe your worldview has a component of religion or spirituality for which yoga would work nicely in connecting with your spirit or your soul or those aspects of it. And for some of you, that's not part of your worldview, and that's not an important part of what you're looking for here. And that's okay too. It's really okay to focus on the aspect of it that you find the most helpful and the most beneficial to you in this process. Okay, so our sixth, or in our case, our second for today, breathing technique is called lion's breath. So if this is one you haven't done before, there might be some kind of silly element to it, and it might make you a little uncomfortable at first, and that's absolutely okay. Hopefully you're somewhere where that is manageable. But I want to really invite you. This is something that can be really helpful. It does some important things in terms of focusing your breathing and our exhale forcefully. So with our lion's breath breathing, we're going to exhale pretty forcefully. So if it's possible to get into a kneeling position and you can cross your ankles and rest your bottom on your feet. If that position isn't comfortable, you could also sit cross-legged, whatever is most comfortable for you. Or as most possible. I know some of you might be listening as you're walking or driving. Please be safe as you go through this process. But so placing your hands on your knees and stretch out your arms and your fingers as you're sitting in that position. And then let me talk you through this and then I'll guide you. So we're going to take a breath in through our nose, and then we're going to breathe out through our mouth, allowing ourselves to vocalize with a it's again that forced exhale. It's very different than the last resonance breathing where we were breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. In this one, we're exhaling out of our mouth. And we're gonna try to open our mouth as big as we can, even sticking our tongue out and down towards our chin as far as it will go. Focus on the middle of your forehead or the end of your nose while you're exhaling. So we're gonna breathe in and then again, this might be a little uncomfortable for some of you if this is not something that you've ever done before. But I want to invite you, give it a try. Find out what it might bring to you in terms of relaxation. Once we're done with our exhale, we're going to relax our face as we inhale again. So again, really focusing on that forced exhale, okay? So we're gonna do this 6 times together. I'm gonna talk you through it 6 times. If you have your ankles crossed, halfway through, cross your ankles the other way for this practice. So we'll go through it 6 times, okay? And so we're gonna just do a deep breath in through our nose. And then we're gonna breathe out through our mouth. Now, if you're sitting crisscross, switch your ankle, breathe in. Try to just push out as much as you possibly can, maybe engaging your core as you do that. Last one. Okay. I hope that that was fun and silly. Perhaps maybe there's some sensation in your mind, in your face. And that's a very new practice for some of you. I'm sure the really important thing is just that forced exhale. It does some really important things for our mind and for our body and helps settle our brain down as we sort of reset our nervous system, particularly if we're feeling challenged with anxiety. So that was our second breathing technique. Our first breathing technique was that resonant breathing, where it's 6 breaths in, 6 breaths out through our nose both times. And then this was our lion's breath, breathing in through your nose and a forced out through your mouth. Okay. I'm proud of you if you tried that. I hope that you were able to chuckle and giggle at yourself a little bit. Again, I know for many of you that might be, there might be some discomfort or some silliness associated with that. But I salute your courage of trying something new if that was something new to you. Okay, the next breathing practice, the third one for today, is called alternate nostril breathing. So in this one, we're going to be trying to really expand out our chest. So shrug your shoulders back and down. If it's possible to really be sitting in a comfortable place, whether that's in a chair, on the edge of your bed, crisscross on the ground, sitting on your knees, whatever is the most comfortable and doable for you in this space. So we're going to rest our left hand on our lap and we're going to raise our right hand. And then we're going to rest the pointer and the middle finger of your right hand on your forehead between our eyebrows. And we're going to inhale and exhale through our nose. Okay. So now I'm going to try to turn so you guys can kind of see this. Using your right thumb, we're going to pinch our nose closed. Sorry, reading through this. Okay. Our right thumb, we're going to close our right nostril and inhale slowly only through your left nostril. I know you guys can't really see. So I'm only pinching my right nostril. This one is fully, okay? And I'm going to breathe in. And out. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading these these instructions to make sure I'm doing it clearly. Okay, so your pointer finger and your middle finger on your forehead, and then your right thumb on your nostril. And then you're gonna pinch your nose, hold for a second, and then you're gonna exhale through your right. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Left side. And then switching. So you're alternating, inhaling and exhaling through either nostril. We're going to try it for about 10 times. So let me let me go through it again. I know this might be completely new for some of you. And obviously there's several other ways that you can do this way. But for this practice, having your right thumb for your right nostril and your right ring finger for your left nostril. Okay, so we're gonna do inhale and exhale. So I'm gonna hold my right, squeezing to pause, and then So I inhaled through my right nostril, paused, and then exhale through my left nostril. Gonna pause, inhale through my right nostril. I'm doing this just so you guys can see better. Pause, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. So I hope that's easier to see as opposed to me covering up the entire experience. So I'm gonna guide you through this about 10 breaths, okay? If you don't get it perfect, that's totally okay. There's some learning curve, again, especially if this is totally new. For you, ideally, you're, again, using just your one hand, okay? And then really alternating. If you don't, again, if you accidentally do an inhale and exhale in the same nostril, or you forget to pause, that's totally okay. But giving yourself some grace to try something new, learn something, and what do you notice? Again, with all of these techniques, both this week and last week, it's really what can you find that will be helpful for you when you are coming up against some anxiety? What is helpful for you to help calm your body, settle your body, to be able to be ready to tackle the next thing. And for some people, they're going to love this alternating nostril breathing. It's going to be just what their body and brain needs. And some people will love the lion's breath. And some people would much rather do the equal breathing that we did last week, where it's 4 in and 4 out and 4 in. Some of you will really, really love focusing your breath. Others will really love that chest and belly breathing we focused on last week, okay? So it's not about loving and trying, it's about loving every single one of these and implementing them every day. It's about what tools can I put in my pocket when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm feeling stressed that will better support me in being able to settle and calm, okay? All right, so back to our nostril breathing. Okay, so let me guide you. I'm trying to figure out what's easiest for you guys to be able to see, because my hand's literally blocking my nostrils for you guys. So we're gonna say, I'm gonna use 2 hands just so that you guys can see better. Okay, so that it's easier. So we're gonna go inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Now we're going to switch and we're going to do inhales on the left nostril. I know it's mirrored for you guys, but the left nostril, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale. Okay. Again, thank you for doing something silly. At least yours isn't recorded and saved on YouTube now forever. But I hope that, like I said, for some people, they'll love it. and other people won't like it at all, and that's absolutely fine. Thank you for trying it, for giving yourself a shot and opportunity to do it, and really focusing in on coming up with some tools to help calm your body down. I've done some learning and reading about the different roles that the different nostrils have. Super fascinating. Maybe at the end, I'll share that book that I did some of that reading out of. It's really, really amazing. The way that our bodies process and use um, our oxygen in different ways. It's really, really pretty amazing. Okay, so our last type of breathing is actually less a breathing technique and more a guided meditation invitation. And so guided meditation is not specifically a breathing technique, but so often the focus of your body while you are in a guided meditation is really helping reset and focus your mind on something that will interrupt maybe some patterns with anxiety, right? As kind of a loop of patterns. And so there's lots of different ways in which to engage with guided meditation. And like I sort of talked about with yoga, for some people, there's simply the physical or physiological aspect of meditation, and for others, there's a spiritual aspect. You get to decide which parts of those are really helpful for you. When it comes to guided meditation, there's lots of different types. There's mindfulness meditation, there's spiritual meditation, focused meditation, a meditation that's movement. There's a meditation that might be specifically around a mantra or a phrase or a word. There's meditation that is transcendental meditation, progressive meditation, some loving kindness meditation, a visualization where you're thinking about, oh, I'm at the beach or I'm at a specific place. So there's lots of different ways that guided meditation can really help calm and focus your body. Like I said, next week, I'm going to really do a guided meditation as part of our practice and really help to, again, focus that attention and connect with your breath. Breath and meditation are inseparable. You really can't do meditation without also focusing on your breathing and really thinking about, okay, what does it look like for me to focus in and pay attention to my thoughts. So today I'm just gonna invite you to just do some just to kind of explore what it looks like for mindfulness meditation. And that's really more awareness or noticing what's happening in your mind or your body, and really focusing your attention to those things. And so if you were to engage in a mindful meditation in a time when you're feeling stressed, that might look at saying, I notice the sounds around me. I just heard a bird. I can hear a car. I hear my heater. There's a helicopter. My own breathing. Okay. So the mindfulness really is going to help notice. You're just noticing, and it helps allow and focus our minds to one specific area. Your five senses is a really, really easy place and a great place to start. So what five things do you notice you can hear? What are five things that you notice you can see? I see the texture of the wall. I see the light coming through the window. Okay, so it's really, really focusing your thoughts. What are 5 things that you can smell? Oh, I noticed there was a candle burning in here. Um, it's time to to vacuum, or my laundry detergent, or the conditioner I used, or um, taste. What do you notice that you're tasting? What do your lips? What, running your tongue along your teeth? Um, tasting 5 things in one place can sometimes be challenging, but even just noticing and paying attention and then feeling, allowing your fingers to feel different textures and just notice. I feel how smooth this desk is. I feel how soft this fabric is, or how it feels against my shoulders. I notice the texture of my socks or feet or ground beneath me. I notice the way the air in the room moves across my face or my neck. So, mindfulness really brings you and invites you into a space, mindfulness meditation, just noticing. Um, Mindfulness meditation is particularly helpful if you don't have someone to guide you. You're on your own, or it can just really be very easy to practice alone. You don't have to concoct kind of elaborate or guided pieces. It's just, what am I noticing in this moment? What am I noticing about my own breathing, my own body, my own thoughts? And so, that's a great practice if you are in a space where you really need some focused attention, and to kind of settle your mind and your attention. Okay, let me share my screen in our last few minutes here. Again, this is the article where I pulled the 8 breathing practices in the past 2 weeks that we've gone through. I'll put the link in the comments of this video if you'd like to do further reading. But you can see here are the 8 breaths that we talked about in the past 2 weeks. And again, further information can be found here in this article. Reminder that these are offered every 2 weeks. So if this is something that doing live would be helpful to you, you're always welcome to join me, and I would love to have you. Next week, we are going to be doing, I'll do a guided meditation. No, sorry, not next week, in 2 weeks, on March 19th. Will be our next live Zoom, and we'll be doing a very specific guided meditation to really focus and calm you, hopefully just in time for spring break. So I hope that you all had um, a a time that was a gift to yourself and calming and settling you, and that this recording is helpful to you in revisiting and connecting with your calm self. Thank you so much. See you next time.